Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Monday morning and this morning, just about an hour ago, I took this footage. This is what the cornfield looks like now. You see the tractors in the background there? Let's play this, it's about 30 seconds. Look at this, look at it. Look at it. I could hear them out yesterday, but I couldn't be arsed going round the corner to have a look. I only have to go around the corner and I couldn't be arsed. Anyway, yeah, so it's all gone. All gone. They were a bit pissed off. They thought they were going for a walk in the fields, but they weren't. So I think that's going to be out of bounds for a walk for a few days. But we've always got the woods to fall back on. I just couldn't be arsed going there. It takes me like 2 minutes longer to get to the woods, via the other way rather than through the fields. Anyway, I digress. In this video, we're going to talk about the Summer Wells case. I haven't looked at any of the channels that cover Summer Wells over the last few days. I've been concentrating on the Delphi case. There's some interesting stuff that's come out on the Delphi case. And then I spent a lot of time doing the researching and the editing for the Crime Story Sunday episode that I did on Bardstown, the Bardstown murders. I focused on Crystal Rogers, but it's a two-part series. So if you didn't see part one, then go over to my other channel, Michelle Walks, and watch it. It took me a long time. It's a long video. It took me a long time. And next week we're doing part two. So that's going to be the murders of Tommy Ballard, Crystal Rogers' dad, Jason Ellis, and then the Netherlands. And I think they're all connected. I think they're all connected. Can't prove it. There's evil in Bardstown, and its name is Houck. Prove me wrong, Houck family. Sue me, Houck family. That would be great. Sue me. All right, so we are going to talk about Summer Wells. And yeah, it seems that any channel that covers Summer Wells seems to be like fighting with each other. I have no idea. I have no idea what people they're all talking about. And I don't want to know what they're all talking about. But I did find this on Prayer Garden of America. I don't watch Prayer Garden very often, but I just happened to kind of wake up while she was live, and it was on this part. This is something that I've talked about before, but I'm not sure that I've gone into detail on this little conversation that Don had, at least not for quite some time. So, let's play this. This is a clip that Prayer Garden played, and it's Don Wells in conversation with Dolly Vision. Let's turn my volume up, because I'm putting this through my laptop speakers. Okay.
But trying to explain that to the police is like trying to talk to a brick wall. I remember you told me that you had the weird feeling. You want to explain to like the people listening about that weird feeling you had beforehand? It's not a weird feeling. It's when the angel tells you that something is going to happen to your kid or your daughter, which is what happened to me, and I couldn't explain it, and I didn't understand at the time. But I knew 4 to 5 months prior that something was going to happen to Summer because an angel told me, and not with work.
So he knew 4 to 5 months prior, Summer going missing, that something was going to happen because an angel told him. All right, so 4 to 5 months, what would that be? So that would be like February, March. So February, March of 2021, an angel came to Don and said that something was going to happen to Summer. So February, March, what was happening in their lives in February or March? Oh no, it's kind of a blank, isn't it? It's like blank, because all the furore about Jose happened in October of 2020. That's when he had that fight with Jose and he ended up getting arrested. Candice filed this police report saying that she was scared for her life. and that of her children. And we've heard the 911 call of Candice. I think it was Molly Golightly and her crew that got the 911 call. And then she dropped the charges. And it was because he violated the probation from that event that he ended up going to jail after a DUI. And that was October 2021. He was arrested, and then he went to jail from February 2022 till October 2022. So lots of things happens in October. October's an unlucky month for Don. But after that, kind of October 2020 until June 2021, we don't have anything. Have you noticed? We don't have anything. So it might be worth anybody who speaks to Don Wells trying to get him to talk about what happened between October and June. So, anybody? Anybody who talks to Don? So focus on the February, March. What happened? What was going on in their lives then? Because that could be crucial. That could be really important. That could be more important than the conversations they had after. It's way more important to know that than any of the conversations they had after she went missing. Because then the event had already happened. Anyway, so an angel came to him. Did it really, though? Did it really?
But you can take it for what you want. You can say that if you want to, y'all can just say that I'm crazy, or you can all can say that I'm just making up a story. No, I don't think it's crazy at all. No, not you, Dolly. I'm just saying your audience can say whatever they want about me. I didn't know it. But not you, sir. But 4 to 5 months prior, something told me that something was going to be happening this summer. And I knew something was going to happen. I asked Candace to please keep a sharp eye on her because something was going to happen.
So how about that it wasn't an angel that told him, like to warn him? How about if it was some trouble he was in? This is why it's important to know who they were talking to, who they were associating with, and what was going on in their lives in that time.
And then that picture that y'all might see on the internet or whatever, where I was holding her when she was sleeping, and I knew something told me at that moment that the time was short at hand. That something, whatever was going to happen, it was going to happen soon.
So that's a second visitation from an angel. So 4 to 5 months prior, something's going to happen, says the angel. Now, the Dancing in the Rain video was at the end of May. So we don't know whether it was this day, because she's wearing the same dress. We don't know whether it's this day. So that would have been about just over 2 weeks before Summer went missing. We don't know whether it was this day or whether she was wearing that dress on another day. But very soon before Summer went missing, the angel came and said the time is close at hand.
This is probably a week or two prior to her disappearance.
So a week or two, if that was the same day as the for sale video, then it would have been the end of May. So it would have been just over 2 weeks.
Crying, and I knew that, and I said, Lord God, please. And she was asleep in my arms, and I was like, Summer, I love you so much, and I just can't believe it.
Now, Prayer Garden comes on now with some of her thoughts, and I'm going to play a couple of minutes of that because it was interesting. I don't agree with everything she said, but it's worth just talking about. But if an angel came to him twice, how about if it was somebody in February, March threatened him, maybe he owed them money or something like that, threatened him and said that something bad was going to happen to a member of his family, that they were going to come and take it out on his family. These things happen. Maybe it's all tied up with drugs, maybe it's all tied up with the wrong friends that he told Brian Entin that Candice has. What if it's Don's wrong friends that are the problem here? And then maybe end of May, beginning of June, those same people came to him again and said, listen, we've warned you. We've given you plenty of time. We've warned you. Something bad's going to happen. And because Summer was this kind of prize possession, like he loved her so much, he was scared for Summer. And she's a beautiful little girl. If they're going to kidnap one of his family, she's the number one option. He told Candice to watch her closely. And then, June 15th, he knew that she'd been taken as soon as he got home and she wasn't at the creek. He knew. He knew that those people had acted on their threats. And no, I don't believe that the CPS kidnapped Summer. No. A few people have asked me what I think about his recent conversations with Cher from Voices Behind the Wall. No, I don't think the CPS kidnapped Summer. Let's listen to what Prayer Garden said. Now, there is a time when I would have absolutely agreed with what Prayer Garden says here. If you go back to my really old videos on this case, so I'm talking like maybe August, September, October of 2021, when the case was quite new, and Don was coming out, he told Jays for Justice that someone told him that the TBI thought he sold his daughter for drugs, and he believed that stuff. He believed that the TBI thought he'd sold his daughter for drugs. And he believed it. Well, if it was nothing of the kind, if it was nothing relating to that, then he wouldn't have entertained thinking that the TBI, that he believed the TBI thought that. That's like guilty knowledge. Or it could be that he didn't sell Summer. So I've gone off that theory. It's still a possibility in my mind. It's still one of the theories that I think is possible, but it's not my number one theory now because of other evidence that we've collected. But it's still a possibility. And I think it's a distinct possibility that the TBI questioned him about it. And he believed that they thought he'd sold his daughter for drugs. But he couldn't say what really happened, because then he'd be in more problems. And the drinking binge and the drugging binge that he had that resulted in his boys being taken, he wanted his boys to be taken at that time. That's what he said. That's what he told Jays for Justice. It wasn't safe at his property. Maybe it wasn't safe at his property, not because the YouTubers was out there, but he thought that the kidnappers would come back and take one of the boys. Anyway, let's listen to what Prayer Garden says.
I knew 4 or 5 months before, he says. And I told Candace to watch her. And then he says, he had a double vision, a double one. What it sounds to me like is like 4 or 5 months before, he had been around some really trash bucket people that,
I believe that. I do.
Undesirable humans. And he was actually, engaging in a conversation about the very topic of, trafficking. And he was thinking about it.
Now, again, at one time, early on in the case, I would have believed that. But I think, actually, what I believe now, no evidence, but the evidence, things like scent alerts and the footprints, and Detective John Pruitt coming out in April of 2022 saying that they don't believe Summer's been trafficked out of the area and that she's close by, leads me to believe that it was somebody local that Don was in trouble with who took her and walked her out before putting her in a vehicle. But it's close by. Now, I don't know what the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and the TBI have to make them believe that she hasn't been trafficked out of the area. Probably due to cell tower stuff and surveillance stuff and local intelligence. And, there has been traffickers that have been arrested since Summer went missing. So maybe those arrests are as a result of the Summer Wells case. It just didn't result in the recovery of Summer, because that's not what happened to her. She wasn't trafficked out of the area. So somebody local took her. Somebody that Don knows and Don was in trouble with.
He was thinking about it, and then he told Candace, he hadn't made up his mind at that point, but he knows these people are out there because he was engaging in conversation with them. So he's like, keep an eye on Summer, because, now he knows this kind of people are, easy access there. And
Yeah. But if he was going to sell Summer, why would he wait 4 to 5 months? If he came in contact with them and was discussing it with them and he was mulling it over 4 to 5 months previous, why did he wait till June? Was that when he finally decided? I think it's more likely he was threatened by them. That makes more sense. And he said, give me more time, I'll get you your money. And he didn't, and then they came back and threatened him. Rather than him thinking about selling her to them. Because otherwise, why would he want Candice to watch her closely? Just in case they stole her. Well, why would they steal her? Unless Don was in trouble with them.
So, as time went on, it was weighing on him, it was weighing on him to get in on that action. And so, down to the wire, a week and a half before, actually, he said 4 or 5 months. Well, it's funny because 2 months later, Donald, if it was 4 months, 2 months later, you guys cut your daughter's hair completely off. 2 months later, you completely cut your daughter's hair off.
No, her hair was cut off, I think probably it looks like maybe April. Like she was really bald. Like really bald. So that's that must be 2-3 months hair growth that she had in that final photo and little video, the milk jugs. Why would they cut her hair if she was going to be sold? I don't get where that comes in. I think she had lice. Because you see at different times, the boys also have the hair shaved completely off. There's one photo, I think it's one of the Christmas photos, that were taken at the same time that Summer had that really nice dress on, that red dress. And there's quite a few photos of her, and that's at the church. One of the boys had his hair shaved completely off. There's photos of Don with his hair shaved completely off. So I think when they find lice on one of them, they shave their hair. They don't get rid of them if you do that. You're going to shave everyone's hair. If you're not going to just treat the lice without shaving your head. I think that's the reason why her head was shaved.
After having this vision, which I truly believe was an undesirable conversation you had with some real fucking weirdos.
I believe that.
Because you are weird. And those are the kind of people, you keep company with, are the evil types like yourself.
Well, yeah, I think it is the undesirable people with ill intent that are the problem here. And Don has brought them into his family.
And then a couple months later, you decide to cut your daughter's hair and get in with the conversation and the folks that you have been conversating with earlier. And then down to the wire, after you cut your daughter's hair, you guys have her dancing in front of that for-sale barrel. And this very same day, the day that you have your second vision, and you got her in your arms, you're walking out of the house and you're taking her somewhere.
It's Dudley who said he was there and they were taking her somewhere while she was asleep. Do we believe Dudley? Honestly, no. I think Don knew. Don knew he was in trouble. Don knew he was in a lot of trouble. And why he also knew that he'd see her in the resurrection. Because these guys were doing it out of vengeance. Not because of a sale. They were doing it out of vengeance. Just want to play you a few more seconds of this that I didn't record the first time round, but listen.
So you're in the house, you take this picture, you tell Summer how sorry you are. Oh, I'm so sorry, Summer, because I know that you're about to be taken. Well, yeah, the only way you know she's about to be taken, son, is if you were giving her away. Somebody can't take your child unless you allow it.
No, that's not true. Somebody can take your child if they know where they live and they know that that child goes out and about, and they've been watching. They've been watching, and Don knows they've been watching because they're local. They're local people.
So what you knew in this picture was you had already made a deal with the devil, which means you have already, set up an evil plan, and you were carrying it out. And after this little video, wherever you sent that to first, you were taking your daughter out of the house to go meet up with someone.
I mean, anything's possible, but a deal with the devil. I think the devil or devils were very close by. And those devils were unhappy with Don. And he knew it. That's what I think. So let me know what you think, though, in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.